first off, how happy are you guys to be playing this pre-party for Rock on the Range this year?
It's pretty cool. We played a Rock on the Range last year in Winnipeg, Canada. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And it went over pretty well, I thought. So when we got the offer for Rock on the Range in Columbus, it wasn't out of the blue. Like, we was like, well, yeah, we did a good show last year, so it's nice of them to remember that and ask us to be part of this. So it's cool.
So what's up for you guys after this? What kind of touring do you have planned? You have some summer festivals in Europe?
Yeah, we're doing one festival in Canada in the beginning of June, and then it's just summer festivals June, July, and August. And then the fall, I don't really know. It could be Europe, could be America, I'm not sure.
Okay. So I was able to watch the full trilogy for the the belt, and I think Bad Thoughts is the final one.
The final one, yeah.
Are you gonna do more? Because it looked like you left room for more at the end.
I don't know if it's gonna continue on with the next album. I kind of want to just start a clean slate and just have a different story entirely. But I mean, I think it's obvious we're just making it up as we went along, and it was more a chance to do something completely different, like out of our range, like, and work with these like big actors and act with them and do all kinds of things that were out of our element. I thought it was cool. People were. I read the comments, and a lot of people were like, the video, the song should not be the background to the video, and I don't get the story. And I'm like, well, dude, who gives a fuck? I'm acting with Ralph Macchio here. I don't give a fuck. so it was an it was just an interesting thing to do. And after doing so many videos, I think we have over 15 videos. A couple of them aren't on YouTube or haven't been uploaded, but there is about 15. Like for this album, we did 3. The last album, we did 1, 2, 3, so 6, and then Sleep is the Enemy had 2, so 8. We Sweat Blood had 3, I think. 2, 3, 3. Sleep is the Enemy had 3 as well.
Okay.
So that's 12, and then Born a Lion had 3, I think. So that's 15 right there, and then there's actually 18 videos. Wow. So we've done 18 videos. So after 18 videos, you kind of want to do something that's more than just like, okay, roll playback, lip sync to the song.
Well, yeah, why not? I mean, so many videos of the band like standing there in some, desert or some kind of like industrial background, and like something cinematic was fantastic.
Yeah, it was just, and it's a lost medium now that MTV program more shows than videos, and I have to admit I do like just lip syncing to the song and going home because I fucking hate doing videos. It's easy for me, but when you see the finished product, it's kind of like, oh, here's another fucking video where we're just, playing to a track. So it was nice when it finally was done. I really loved. My favorite is really the first video because there's that Mike Watt introduction, which I loved, and then the other videos are great too for different reasons. Ralph Macchio was a big thing for me and for JC. In 2 videos, it was kind of surreal when we were.
How'd that come about?
We were doing the first video with Elijah Wood and Selma Blair and Lemmy Kilmister and Mike Watt, and during the shoot, I mean, we just started going, how the fuck are we going to top this? How the hell are we going to top this video? So I just said, Macchio, dude, gotta get Ralph Macchio, and that was just out of the blue. It was just saying someone's name, and everybody kind of laughed. Not because he's a joke, but because he is, he's just so left field for everybody. You never really thought that someone would say his name, and it's still respected and revered, so when we sat down and we started to talk about, during a production meeting for the second video, we started to seriously talk about Ralph. And we were like, can we really get him? So we got all the other actors, and Lemmy and Mike, they were brought in through one contact of the video. Selma Blair came from the producer, friend of the producer. Elijah Wood was friend of the directors. Lemmy and Watt came from us because we've played with them and toured with them. So Ralph was someone nobody knew. So that was really cool that we got him.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, plus he was just on Dancing with the Stars. So he's getting
this was before, way before Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Like I don't know when Dancing with the Stars started, like in March, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So we shot the first video with him in June, and we started talking about him in March.
Wow.
So it was a year before he got on Dancing with the Stars. We were already talking about him. And it wasn't because of his Funny or Die clips or Dancing with the Stars. It was just because we love, Outsiders and Karate Kid, but being music guys, and he noted this too. Crossroads is one of my favorite movies of all time, and when he was on set, he was like, "You like Crossroads, right?" And all of us were like, "Oh, we love Crossroads." So he sat down and he was so cool. He was like, "Ask me anything about Crossroads.
Oh, wow.
Ask me anything about Karate Kid." So it was really nice to hang out with him.
That's good. That's awesome to hear that he was so open like that.
He was. He was talking about stuff, like about Steve Vai, working with Steve Vai and Ry Cooder, and how I was like, "How did you learn all this?" And he was just going through all that stuff. It was fun.
Yeah, the worst is to get somebody with an ego. So I'm happy.
And we were really lucky. Like everybody, from Selma Blair to Elijah Wood to Ralph Macchio to Jenna Malone, everyone was, all these Hollywood people were very nice. Really cool.
Yeah, no doubt. So I'm working on a feature with PopCultureMadness.com, and I'm asking a lot of artists what their favorite summer festival memory is.
My favorite summer festival memory.
It can either be one you attended or a show that you played.
Well, we played the Wacken Festival in 2006 in Germany, and that's like the mecca of metal festivals. If you're into metal, you go to Wacken. People go there, and I just know when I saw our name on the running order for the festival, I was like, wow, this is awesome. We're gonna play. I'm gonna go to see Wacken and go backstage and hang out there. But at the same time, I realized, well, we're not a metal band. We're gonna get pelted. And so I was really nervous about it, but we went over really well, I thought. So that was really cool, there's so many festivals we've played that were so memorable. Whether it was Hellfest in 06 when I got on stage for the first time to sing "Kill by Death" with Lemmy. That was a great moment. Or getting on stage and singing "Bored" with Death Angel, one of my favorite bands as well. That was at Hellfest too, but that was in 08. And then just hanging out with bands and meeting bands backstage is one of the greatest things about festivals is you get to play these really big shows, but you also get to meet or hang out with or catch up with friends in other bands, So I've met everyone from like Lagwagon to Celtic Frost and Soulfly and In Flames and Metallica from just like being at the festival and being on that day that they were playing.
So is there anybody you met that you've been completely starstruck?
Yeah, oh my god, the list is long. I mean, meeting Kirk Hammett at Rock am Ring in Germany was, in 06 was huge for me. There had been some previous correspondence that led to the meeting, and when he came in, he started playing one of our riffs on his. They were warming up. They were about to go on stage in an hour, and he had his guitar on him, and he was playing one of our riffs back to me. And I remember where I wrote that thing, when I wrote that riff, and just watching a guy that I grew up worshiping playing my riff back to me. I was basically in shock. I've never been in shock. Like, I guess I have in my life a few times. And that was one of the times where nothing tragic happened or nothing bad happened or it wasn't a scary thing. Mm-hmm. it was just like I couldn't believe that he was playing I remember where I wrote it. That was a pretty big moment when he played the riff. And then he goes, "What's the name of that song?" And I couldn't even remember the fucking name of the song. JC had to tell him what the song was. And then I'm like, "Wasn't that pretty cool? He was playing that riff." And he goes, "No, he wasn't playing that song. He was playing that So on Ice." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it was so." I could not even. So that was a huge thing for me. That was one of the best times. But there's been other moments with other bands, you know. There's a lot of them because we've been playing festivals, doing the circuit for 10 years now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been like 15 years or for you guys.
15 years as a band,
yeah.
And then we got on the European circuit in 01, where we started to play these huge festivals, and it's a great way. Like today at Rock on the Range is a great way to hit a lot of people all at once. And, you know, it's like playing 10 club shows in an hour.
Right.
You know, and if you do a good show, those people will tell more people, like, you do a good club show. So that's how the word on us spread real quick in Europe, too, because we got on the circuit and festival promoters knew we did good shows, and it was just good to have us on the bill. And then, you know, our slot started getting later and later on during the day, so it was pretty cool.
Of course, and with social media and stuff on the rise, I mean, people can tweet that they just saw an awesome band, like it's out.
I guess now, yeah. I mean, back in 01, 02,
not so much.
That wasn't really happening. Even in 06, they were tweeting, or 08 even.
I think it's more of like an 09 and on thing.
Yeah, like for me, it was 10. It was 10 in 2010. I was like, what the fuck is this tweeting shit? So yeah, but it's been great. You know, there's been so many.
Do you remember your first show?
Yeah, I went to Metallica. So that was also another kind of poignant moment meeting Kirk that way. I mean, it had led up. There had been something. There had been a whole thing that had led up to that moment. So it was cool. I was really stoked. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, anybody who really knows me knows I'm a huge Metallica fan. No matter, you know.
They're like the one band I've not seen live yet. Very, very sad about that.
Wow.
I'm hoping to get to the Big Four, so fingers crossed.
Right, the Big Four. It's so weird having them tour together and play together. Growing up as like a metalhead, you always thought that would happen, and it never ever did.
Now it is.
And now it is, and it's just kind of like, well, man. You're kind of like, man. But if I was, you know, back when I was 15, if that had happened, I would have shat my pants. It came close, though. There was Clash of the Titans with everyone but Metallica, and I saw that.
Yeah.
And it was Alice in Chains who opened, which I didn't think was the right band to open. And on other dates, I'd heard it was Suicidal Tendencies, and I like Alice in Chains a lot. I thought they were a great band, but I mean, I love Suicidal Tendencies, man. So that would have been cool too.
So I like to look at music as a universal language that everyone speaks and understands, you know, even though we all take different messages away from it. Is there anything in particular that you hope that your music speaks to listeners?
Nothing other than like having a good time during the 3 minutes the song's on. I don't really carry these grand hopes and dreams that I hear other bands yammer on about pretentiously. I just hope people have a good time with the songs. I don't really take too much out of music other than a good rockin' time. I don't really read lyrics. Music doesn't move me that way. It moves me more like in what it's called as music, not the words. You know, sometimes a good turn of phrase and a good lyric or a good punchline really drives home a song for me. Like, you know, James Brown, Try Me. That's a wicked line, placed perfectly, it really makes a song. But, you know, it doesn't really make or break a song for me.
So are you going to be working on new material? I mean, I know, so you have the re-release of the album coming out, and it's
June?
June?
Yeah, somewhere in June. I don't remember.
So is there any new material in the works?
Yeah, there's 2 extra tracks on it.
Okay.
But in terms of like a brand new album, we're probably going to start writing that maybe the fall, winter, later in late of this year or early next year we'll start writing.
Okay.
I've already started writing. I mean, I have like a bunch of riffs that I'm pretty excited about actually, but we'll see if they even make the cut.
So if you were not pursuing music right now as a career, what do you think that you'd be doing instead?
I'd probably be wanting to start a band, or I'd be in deep fucking shit. Not for any serious crime, but just I would probably get in trouble for doing some mischief or something where I would cross a line. Nothing. I wouldn't hold up a convenience store or anything, but more like just pulling a prank that went a little too far or something. That kind of shit. Because that's what I was doing before this band.
So you're a prankster by nature?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're working on a book on the band right now, and it's almost finished. And everybody. What the fuck is our phone? Oh, sorry. We're working on a book on the band, and it's almost finished. So we actually got the rough draft of it today. So it's an oral history of the band. So it's basically interviews with over 70 people, and it's everyone from Lemmy, Jello Biafra's in it, Peaches is in it, Eric Davidson from the New Bomb Turks is in it, the Super Suckers are in it, National Pussy's in it, Obituary's in it, Morbid Angel's in it.
Wow.
It just goes on and on and on and on. Dizzy Reed's in it.
So these are interviews that you've done.
There's a writer who's been working on it since August of last year. And so it's just everybody's in it who's connected with us. So it's their quotes are telling the story, and our interviews as well. It's kind of like a Lex McNeil book, and it's almost done. And in doing so, I mean, there's been some people. So there's the early history of us, and all the way through. So the early part, we're just reading people's quotes. I realized that I'd probably get in some serious trouble because they were talking about what I was doing before the band and stuff. So I was like, I probably would have gotten into a lot of trouble doing some of the shit I was doing or going that way. So.
Well, we're glad that you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I am too. It's pretty good. I'm glad that I get to do this. I always wanted to do it. So.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time out to speak with me. We look forward to this
thanks
tonight.
a lot. Yeah, it's going to be
fun. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our visitors at Pop Culture Menace?
I tweet at Danko Jones, and there's Facebook /Danko Jones. Other than that, I'm doing a podcast now.
Okay.
That's about it.
Nice. Well, we'll certainly direct our visitors to check it out.
Cool.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.